girl Lisa Lutz here, and it is time for Fun Fact Friday. And I always enjoy this segment. I love having my mom come because I think she just gives you guys an insight to who Lisa was before she became the 38-year-old version that you guys see now. But it's really fun to have her come along and talk and reminisce about things like my brothers and pageants and growing up as the only girl in a house full of boys. But today I wanted to tell you something else, a fun fact about Lisa that I think you guys will enjoy. And it obviously does have to do with growing up with two older brothers. But I wanted to tell you guys about basically my favorite movie. And I thought this would be really good and kind of timely as we start to think about, just things that we use for motivation. And I know a lot of times I look to this movie and this particular person's career and how they started out and the struggles. And so my favorite movie is actually Rocky. And that may come as a surprise to you guys, but I am a huge Rocky fan and I love the whole series. I even love the newer version, Creed, which just came out a couple years ago. And then also it's getting ready to come out, I think this year, Creed 2 or possibly next year, kind of the sequel to that as well. But I love Rocky. I loved his message. I felt like I was Rocky when I competed in pageants as far as saying, I just want to be a contender. I don't know if you guys remember the very first Rocky, but if you go back and he was, obviously the underdog and down and out and, the Italian stallion and a southpaw, meaning he fought hard from his left. But the other great thing about that whole movie, and if you really watch it as a perspective of being an underdog and being put up against an opponent who way outweighs you, right? Outranks you, is just better in all aspects of life really than you. And one of the scenes that's my favorite is Rocky talking to Adrian and telling her he just wants to be a contender. Like he just wants to stand in the ring toe to toe and know that he did everything possible in his life and his career and his training to actually just be a contender with Apollo and not necessarily win the fight, not necessarily win the match, but just know that he did absolutely everything possible that he could to be a contender, to leave out of there with his pride, to leave out of there knowing he left it all in the ring. And I think that's so admirable. And I think that's what I loved about the movie, because that's how I felt about pageants. And that's how I felt about really my career and really now even my life. So a younger version of Lisa used that mentality to do pageants and say, I just want to be a contender. I know I'm not one of the big dogs in this competition, and I know I am not a law student at Harvard or a law student at UVA, or I know that my degree and my studies are in exercise and health promotion, and my talent is a fitness routine with one-arm push-ups and gymnastics. I know I'm super on the other side of being an opera singer or a pianist or playing the violin or ballet on point. I know what I bring is something totally different, but I just want to be a contender. And the Lisa now that uses that Rocky version of get up and fight and be a contender is now just really just about life in general, right? It's just about being a contender as being a mom and being a wife and keeping up with the house. And I just want to be a contender in the fact that I want to be able to say that I have put my best face forward, that I have used all the talents that God's given me. I know one of my most favorite Irma Bombeck quotes is when I stand before God at the end of my life, I pray that I can look at him and say, I used every bit of talent that you gave me. And that is truly my most favorite quote. I want to leave this world knowing that I used all of my talents. I used all the gifts that God gave me, and I didn't hold on to anything. I didn't keep anything for myself, that I gave it out there to the world to be able to hopefully shine some light on the beauty that really is human beings. And so I just also wanted to share this because on my timeline today, what I thought was super appropriate, there was a, you got to love Facebook. I don't know how they do the algorithms. I don't know how they know these things, but Facebook knew apparently that I adore Rocky Balboa. I follow him on Instagram. I adore Sylvester Stallone and his career and how he started that movie career and how he wrote that film and fought hard to get it to where it was and to get it produced. But anyway, I thought this was really good. I don't know, you guys probably can't see this, but this popped up on my Facebook timeline. It's just basically a picture that you can order. You can buy this picture, but it's one of the famous quotes from one of the Rocky movies, and I'll just share it with you guys. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much can you take and keep moving forward? That's how winning is done. Rocky Balboa. So it's not how hard you hit. It's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. So that's my little message for you guys today too. Rockies, those are my favorite movies. I love Rocky 5 with the Russian, and Rocky 1 though really pulls at my heartstrings because I feel like that's where you see the nitty-gritty drive, determination, and motivation of Rocky to become who he knew he could be, who he knew the rest of the world needed to see, and I love that. So anyway, Fun Fact Friday, favorite movie Rocky. I hope you guys enjoyed. I love you so much. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and I will talk to you soon. God bless.